In this video, I'm going to go over the exact process, how I'm going to make over $1 million, again, like I have in parentheses here. This is going to be a 3-step process, and I'm going to go into each of these points, each individually. And this is all going to be done through the wealth creation, multiplication, and preservation stages that Luke Belmar always talks about. Create, multiply, and preserve, essentially. And I say again here because I have done this process in the past about 3 years ago, and I'm about to do it again in this next bull cycle that we're currently in. And if you don't believe me that I've ever done that, you can just click off the video. I don't really care. This is for the people that actually want to learn something and apply it, because this process is what a lot of successful people do. So, point number 1 is going to be the money creation stage. This is probably where you're at right now. You're trying to make more money online. You're trying to make more money to set yourself up for your future. This is the entire regime and fundamental piece to even being able to do the next few steps here. So let's start with this one. It's the most important one right now. You have to go and create a product or service that people actually want and sell it to them. How we're going to go and figure out what people want. We want to see exact pain points that people are in on a daily basis. This can be either done through TikTok shop, selling a certain product, maybe a neck roller for people that have neck pain. This can be a service for people that don't have the amount of clients they want, and you're able to get a lead gen, and you're able to do lead generation for them or bring them in new clients that are qualified. This can be quite literally anything, any pain point that people are facing on a daily basis, whether it's going to be B2B, which is business to business, or B2C, which is business to customer. So you'd be selling a product to a customer, or you would be selling a product or service to a business. One's going to be more lower ticket, the other one's going to be higher ticket. The lower ticket one's going to be B2C. Customers typically have a lot less money than other businesses to go and buy, whether it's going to be a software, a back-end system, consulting, whatever this may be. There's certain expectations when transacting certain value, and this can be, like I said, B2B or B2C at any sort of ticket or any sort of pricing. So now, you can't really create money. You're not the Federal Reserve, you're not a central bank. So what even is wealth creation? Pretty much the process of you taking money from others. That goes back to value must be exchanged. You can only create, quote unquote, which is take money from other people, if you're able to provide them value in some sort of scenario. And typically, the bigger the problem the person has or the company has, you're able to charge higher ticket, which is going to mean that you're creating more money or transacting more money and taking more money for exchanging value. And go to the river of liquidity. Basically, go to where the money's flowing. Go to the river where the water is constantly streaming. You don't want to go to a river that's kind of just like slowly dying out. This pretty much means that you want to go into a niche, find a niche, and put yourself into the niche where a lot of money is constantly flowing around and transacting. This all goes back to you finding a product or service, which is going to be solving a specific problem, specifically at scale, typically. That's going to be where a lot of the liquidity is at, where a lot of money is being transacted. For example, you don't want to go and start selling volleyballs to a business or to a consumer that's in Pennsylvania. That makes no sense. The weather's not the best over there. There's not many beaches around there. There's in fact no beaches in Pennsylvania. So it wouldn't make sense for you to sell volleyballs or beach balls in Pennsylvania. If you wanted to sell beach balls, you would go somewhere like Miami on the beach, giving them to people that are already on the beach that maybe already have a few drinks in them that want to start playing volleyball with their friends. That would make more sense. That would be more by where the river of liquidity is at. So now that we have the basic understanding of wealth creation, which is basically transacting value and providing value for other people, we want to go into the wealth multiplication stage. This is exactly how you're going to have your existing profits and multiply them into whatever dollar figure you can. This is me personally, what I'm planning on doing here. Now, myself as an individual, I am a bit more risky. So this all comes down to your own risk tolerance, which I'll touch on in a moment here. But medium to high risk investments and certain strategy plays here. This is all going to be based around crypto for the most part. It seems like we're in the middle of a bull run right now where prices just tend to be going up month over month. Now, there are certain drawbacks as time goes on and days and weeks pass by, but the overall trend is up and overall trend is bullish. So months and months ago, I've positioned myself to take advantage of this period of time because it only happens once every 4 years for the most part. Now, if you aren't in any plays yet, I'm not the right channel to advise you what to buy or sell. However, I'm going to give you my strategy of what I'm doing personally. So 80-20. 80% is in medium plays, 20% is in high risk. Medium plays means that I'm betting more on certain winning narratives in this space. 20% could be high risk in meme tokens. Memes are a massive narrative this bull run. People are just printing so much money off of meme coins. So I'm trying to expose my money and expose my capital to these certain plays to multiply over time. And in my opinion, we really haven't seen the peak in terms of crypto prices yet. I still believe we do have some time to go. And I do believe we'll have some dips along the way. That's just normal standard market procedure. However, I'm willing to ride the ups and downs because my risk tolerance and my net worth. So risk tolerance now, this is what I touched on a moment ago. If you're a bit older or you're just more scared in general, because I have some younger friends that aren't that risky like I am. Depends what your risk is. Maybe the $1 million game is only going to be 100 grand for you, maybe 250K for you. It depends. Depends what you're starting with as well, because on my last video, I went over exactly how to even start making money online with my own free course and my entire back-end systems like this. I'm willing to play with a lot of my net worth right now because I'm confident in my high conviction plays as well as in my ability to go and generate money with an online business. Now, if you aren't that confident in yourself, perhaps you're only going to play with a small percentage of your net worth. But this is exactly how we're going to multiply our wealth. Maybe that multiple is only a 2x for you, maybe a 5 or 10, or if you're lucky, a 15x. It all depends on your risk tolerance here. So do research on the best positions and wait it out. One of the biggest problems and biggest things I see in this space of people that are already in crypto is they feel like they need to make all these little trades and make all these little different changes in positions because one thing changes day to day. However, if you take a step back and really understand what you're putting your money into, you don't really have to make that many clicks on the mouse. You really just need to buy, hold convicted plays, and wait it out. Anytime you're doing extra clicking, extra buying and selling, more times than not, you're probably going to end up losing money. This is really just how it goes with regular retail traders. Even though I am a retail trader myself, I've been in this space since 2017. So it's been about 7 years now, and this is not my first cycle. I see a lot of people just lose a bunch of money trying to chase a pump or trying to time the top of or local top of a token and try and sell it and buy back lower. And then it goes up after they sell. And then they're like, shit. So just be aware of your behavior and emotions throughout these markets because your emotions are not your friend in markets like this. So now that we understand the first concept of how to make money right here and now how to multiply it, let's fast forward in about, 12 to 18 months. This is going to be the plan to keep your money and set your life up for the rest of your life ideally. So number one is to take profits and rotate those profits into safe assets. On the board, I have art, treasury bills, watches, and hard metals. Now, why am I picking these asset classes in particular? Well, one, it's my opinion, what I believe is the best, besides real estate for long-term assets. But, hard metals, they hold their value. They're scarce resources. They're not going to go to zero, maybe like a shit coin or meme token will. Watches, there's always somebody out there that wants the watch you have. They're limited as well. Maybe not Rolex as much, maybe AP is, or a Patek, or anything crazier than that is more rare. So they're going to hold their value, and there's always some rich guy that wants that watch that you have. Number two, or number three in this case, is going to be treasury bills. 100% transparency with you. I don't hold any treasury bills. However, a lot of my friends that have millions and millions of dollars do hold treasury bills, or even CDs in this case. And lastly on the board is going to be art. A lot of wealthy people hold a lot of art. Why is this? Because it's extremely scarce. There's always some other rich person that wants that piece of art you have, unless it's like a shitty NFT or something. However, most art pieces do appreciate a lot over years. And this is way more of a longer play than something like crypto that lasts 1 to 2 years at most. Art, probably a 3 to 10 year investment period in general, or more. So next is going to be real estate and land and firearms. Why is this also a great play for a long-term strategy for investments and preservation of your wealth? Well, real estate is a hard asset class that people need to live in. Like, people need housing, people need apartments. This wall, it's tangible. This is where we live. This is how we build families. This is where we build families. Crypto, stocks, even hard metals can't provide that sort of hard tangibility of comfort. This is like a hierarchy of needs type thing. You need a place of comfort. You need a place to stay away from the hard elements of the world and of just living. So you want to build and develop real estate if you have the money, or invest in certain apartment complexes or fourplexes, duplexes, triplexes. These are really good ways to start cash flowing as well. Now, land on the board right here. Why is land on the board? Well, it's so scarce. There's only so much land in the world. I think that is pretty explainable itself. The global population's increasing, land space is decreasing. You know, there's a supply and demand chain right here, or equation here, where land's just going to continue to increase over time, especially in developed areas. For example, one of my friends, he owns a few acres of land here in Arizona, and the land has actually appreciated over $100,000, which was damn near a 2x from when he originally bought it. And he bought it a little over 3 years ago. So, you know, $100,000 investment on a piece of land, on a bunch of dirt, I think that's pretty damn good. So you can hold land for however long you want, or even develop on it. Now, firearms. This is something that it may be specific to the current state of the world with the economy, but you can actually hedge yourself and hedge against inflation and hedge against the dollar collapsing by buying firearms and ammunition. It's really weird. If you study this, the chart of ammunition and the prices of ammunition go up whenever there's a crazy decline in the stock market or decline in the global economy. They are directly tied to each other, it seems like. Whenever the world goes to shit, ammunition prices go up. So if you want to stack ammunition, and then you can actually deal that ammunition to other gun, firearms places, or even other individuals, you can sell it for a higher margin than what you bought it for. That's a little bit more extra, a little bit more niche. However, I do believe it is a really good way to preserve your wealth, especially since things are pretty uneasy in the world right now. But lastly is going to be foreign assets. And this is going to be pretty much you with your money betting on other countries on the up and coming. This can be Dubai, for example. With the entire collapse of the United States happening in real time, putting money overseas, I believe, is a good strategy to preserve the wealth that you have and bet on up and coming nations. And I want to make this clear real quick. If you don't have at least like $1 million, for example, I really wouldn't even focus on this right now, because you want to just continue focusing on these two pieces. And then once you have the money, you can say, okay, now I'll be able to go ahead and do X, Y, and Z over here. However, you should be just focused on exploding your income and dramatically increasing your net worth. But back to this last point, I do believe if you're able to look a few steps ahead, it's kind of clear to see the way the world's going and where the liquidity is flowing. It's not flowing in the United States, really. It's flowing out of the United States. It's flowing into places like the UAE, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. It's flowing into places, not even in Europe, honestly, but perhaps Singapore, Malaysia. These are pretty good areas, pretty safe areas that are on the up and coming. Now, I'm not saying to put all your money in these countries and do that crazy shit, but take it into consideration and just think, once you do have X amount of money, once you're able to go walk through this entire process, perhaps in a year or so, you'll be in a different financial situation where you'll be able to take these things into consideration. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something new. This is the entire process of what I'm personally doing and what I've done to an extent a few years ago. So, I'm going to rinse and repeat what I've done before, and I'm going to be able to ideally go throughout all these even more at a deeper level myself. That's my goal for you as well, to be able to apply this in your own life here. So, if you enjoyed this video, of course, and you want to learn more about wealth creation and how to actually build an online business, I have an entire free course teaching you literally everything you need to know. This is what's taken me over 1.5 years, about 2 years, to do this on my own with SaaS specifically, and giving you all my templates inside there. So link is going to be in the description along with all my other links as well. You know the saying, don't be motivated, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next video.